During my sermon on Sunday, I talked about a boxer being in a ring and going for like the duration of a 12-round fight, and really just how absolutely exhausting doing something like that would be. And within that, I said could you imagine if you actually had someone in your corner who was filling you with perfect energy in between the rounds? So you never got tired, you never ever got weak at all. And there is this reality that we, as believers in Jesus Christ, have Him in the corner of our ring, ready to fill us with wisdom or His stability or His energy. And this happened for Daniel when he was exhausted, or he said in anguish, and he just couldn't go on anymore. I want to read it to you. Daniel chapter 10, verses 15 through 19. It says this: Well, while this angel was saying things to me, I bowed with my face towards the ground, and I was speechless. And then the one who looked like a man touched my lips, and opened my mouth and began to speak. And I said to the one standing before me, I'm overcome with anguish because of the vision, my Lord, and I feel very, very weak. How can I, your servant, talk with you, my Lord? My strength is gone, and I can hardly even breathe. Again, the one who looked like a man touched me, and he gave me strength. Do not be afraid, you who are highly esteemed, he said. Peace, be strong now, be strong. And you can see that Daniel's just absolutely exhausted in there, and he's in deep anguish because of what he saw and the vision that God had given him. And it just broke his heart to see all the stuff in that vision that was going to be coming, that he knew was going to be happening in the future. And it saddened him, really, dare I say, it depressed him mentally to the point that he was physically worn out. And he, at that point, required God's intervention in order to be able to just continue on. And I think when we see, right, everything that's going on around us, we worry right now about things that are happening and about what the future's going to be like and what the future's going to be like for our kids and our grandkids. And from things like unwarranted abuse to disrespect for the law, to things like disrespect for the property and the rights of others. We see it happening, and it's mentally exhausting sometimes to watch what's going on right now. And in case you're like, man, I don't even know what you're talking about, all you got to do is turn on the nightly news or listen to a talk show, and you're going to get what I'm saying. What you're going to get is exhausted and worried, probably. But when you get really to those lowest points, and that's when we cry out to God. And our strength is gone, right? And we can hardly breathe. And that's when God's able to fill us with the energy and the mindset that He has, like He did for Daniel. But the question I ask is this: why did God bother strengthening Daniel? Why did He do that? Does it really matter in the grand scheme of things whether or not this little peon over here named Keith has strength and energy to go on? Does that really even matter? Honestly, no. It doesn't. Very few will notice if I go on or if I don't. But it turns out that God doesn't strengthen me or Daniel for my purposes. He doesn't even do it for me personally. It would be extremely short-sighted of me to think that I am really that valuable or important to the world. But the value that I have to the world comes in when God strengthens me for the sake of His plan and for the sake of His will. And that's what happened to Daniel. Chapter 10, the second half of verse 19 says this: When he spoke to me, I was strengthened, and I said, Speak, my Lord. Right? I want to listen now, my Lord, seeing as you have given me strength. God strengthened Daniel so that Daniel would have the ability to understand what God was trying to explain to him. That right there is the real difference maker. When we think we need to be strengthened to accomplish our agenda, you're going to find yourself regularly exhausted. But when you recognize that the main reason that you want to be strengthened or stabilized or confident is for the sake of God's agenda, that's when you will find God filling you with just what you need to go. And man, that fill up will put you in the position and give you the abilities to conquer the world. His way, God's way. Try that. Think of it that way. Try it. And I think you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. We'll see you in a couple days.